plenty updates to share with everyone, and we're so grateful that you've joined us this morning. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. I'm pleased to provide updates and information and important reminders for all members of Team BCPS. I want to welcome and thank Senator Benjamin Brooks for joining us and his staffer. Thank you for your steadfast support of BCPS. This second month of school has been exciting. I've had several opportunities to connect with staff, students, and stakeholders and observe our schools in action. We recently had 2 ribbon cutting ceremonies at Nottingham Middle School and Bedford Elementary School. We're truly grateful for all the lawmakers, the partners, and community members that work tirelessly to ensure that we can fulfill our commitment to providing world-class school facilities. Nottingham Middle School is the first construction of a new comprehensive middle school since 2006, when Windsor Mill Middle School was built and opened on the west side of Baltimore County. It is the first new middle school on the east side of Baltimore County since Pine Grove in 1974, 50 years ago. The Bedford Elementary School project is twice the size of the former building and doubled the state-rated capacity from 309 to 689 to help relieve overcrowding in the Northwest area elementary schools. We look forward to opening many more state-of-the-art facilities for our students and staff in the years to come. Also, over the last few weeks, we've held 4 community meetings, 2 system-wide curriculum nights, and 2 community conversations on safety and security. Our curriculum nights provided families with an opportunity to see firsthand what students are learning and explore system efforts to make improvement in key academic priority areas. Families were able to view curricular and instructional materials, ask questions, and connect with content area experts. At our community conversations, families, elected officials, and staff came together to brainstorm and problem solve, to discuss ways to foster safe and welcoming learning environments for all. Families identified helpful resources, and we have provided them to the entire community. Community engagement and building strong system partnership will remain a top priority of the school system. I look forward to meeting with many more members of Team BCPS at the various meetings and events we have scheduled for this school year. The first marking period will end on October 31st. While we are confident that our students will continue to move forward in academics because our students and staff are truly working hard, it's important for me to remind and encourage all Team BCPS students to finish strong. For our students, that means continuing to attend school consistently, engaging in instruction, and reaching out to teachers and staff for help when needed. For parents and caregivers, that means checking student progress and current levels of performance by logging into Schoology and connecting with classroom teachers and administrators for support. As a reminder, we developed the Here For It initiative to provide both parents and educators with tools and resources to promote and ensure good student attendance. For our high school students, we want to remind you at the end of second quarter, you will have the opportunity to earn half credits. So it is very important for you to make sure that you are doing very well during each marking period. In August, I shared that we are expanding access to comprehensive behavioral services for our students through a new partnership with the Maryland Consortium on Coordinated Community Supports. 8 community mental health providers are working with our system to provide a range of services across all grade levels. Their services include therapy, workshops, family education, prevention services, mentoring, family support groups, character education, and more. Through this grant, students at 155 BCPS schools have access to additional services. This has grown from 111 schools that we announced last month. We're currently working in collaboration with the Baltimore County Hub to complete community needs assessments. Our priority will continue to include a focus on mental and behavioral health services, as well as access to telehealth services, hiring and retention of clinically trained providers, and community-based intervention services that promote school attendance and positive communities. October 14th through 18th was National Digital Citizenship Week. It serves as an important time for all of us to pause and reflect on the importance of having a healthy approach to use of media and technology. This national recognition is especially important for us as we begin the second month of our cell phone pilot program. We currently have 19 middle and high schools participating in the pilot. Our principals have begun sharing initial feedback and information on how things are going in the schoolhouse. We've also had an opportunity to see firsthand in visits to schools that students have phones put away, and they're deeply engaged in instruction with the teachers, and they are speaking with each other. We're encouraged by what we're seeing and plan to open the pilot for more schools to participate. I will be providing a full report to the Board of Education after we have collected both quantitative and anecdotal from the participating schools. I want to continue to encourage our parents and caregivers to reinforce the importance of following our cell phone policy and encouraging students to have all of their phones off and away so they can remain focused throughout the school day. Lastly, October 21st through 25th is National School Bus Safety Week. We call on all motorists in the county to please slow down and stop for our school buses as they pick up and drop off students. The school bus camera enforcement program is underway, and you will soon start to receive a citation if you pass a school bus. The numbers of cars that are still passing our buses during this period is alarming. It takes every single one of us doing our part to keep students safe as they walk to school, cross our roadways, and get on and off the school bus. Thank you for your time, and I'll call Ms. Soni Jala to the front.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers. Questions? I'll come to you with the mic, so if you have a question, just put your hand up. Happy to come to you. Okay, I saw Maria. Did your hand go up? Yes. Yeah, okay.
Hi, Dr. Rogers.
Good morning.
Question, going back to the cell phone pilot program, you said that you'll be giving us more information when that report is presented to the board. Do you have an estimated time of when you're going to be doing that?
So we're coming to the end of first quarter, so schools are doing a survey at this point. It's likely that we'll be presenting something during second quarter because we'll have first quarter data as well as the surveys.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So related to that, can you tell us how many schools are involved and what grade levels, and what are the parameters of the pilot program? Or do they have options on how they do it? And what are they doing? Are they doing the pouches? Are they doing bins? What are they doing?
All great questions, and all of them are correct. So the grade levels that are currently participating are secondary schools, so middle schools and high schools. We have 19 schools that opted in where we thought we were going to start with 16. And one of the things that we learned from our students and our principals were that the students wanted to feel secure, and the families, the parents as well, so that the phones weren't too far away. And so we've expanded it. We have pouches in some schools where they're in a designated location in the front of the classroom. We also have the clear supply boxes that are, near the student tables. We also have individualized clear envelopes that are Velcro to the desk. You name it, as long as the phone is not on the person of the student, but the student feels secure enough that they know where it is, and if we had an emergency, they can get to it. They're doing that. We are allowing all of those options because what we really want is for the phone to be away and for the students to engage with each other and for them to engage with the instructors. We have been to more than 30 schools since the school year started doing visits. Many of the schools are involved in the cell phone pilot, and I will tell you, I've yet to be in a cell phone pilot school where I see cell phones as an issue, cell phones being out. The students are really talking to each other and they're focused on the instruction. And so we're going to see if what we're seeing and the data compared to what it was before are also matching, and then make some decisions about next steps. We met with those principals last week. They presented to each other about some best practices that are working very successfully in their schools, and in due time they're going to present to the rest of their colleagues. You're welcome.
Okay. Phil from WBIL Radio. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
This is just news this morning here. The state school board just voted a unanimous vote by the state. I'm sorry, I should rephrase that question. There was a unanimous vote this morning by the state school board on emergency regulations requiring the school superintendents to inform other school superintendents about a student's criminal history when they transfer to another school. This, of course, on the heels of what happened in Howard County last week. Your colleague in Howard County basically said he was frustrated because he didn't know that there was a convicted attempted murderer in his school. Your reaction to that, and I have a couple of follow-ups on the Department of Juvenile Services.
Okay, I'll do my best to respond. My reaction to that is great. That is a start, but that is only the beginning in terms of a start. I think every school system, particularly nowadays, wants to have the information. So wherever the information comes from, whether it's from a transferring school district or from the law enforcement, we want the information because while what we're going to be able to do is make decisions that are in the best interest of all students and staff involved with the information. And so I think it's a great start.
Just so, what has been your experience with the Department of Juvenile Services? There's been a lot of controversy over, ankle monitors and reporting and that sort of thing. Are you comfortable with the way the system is set up, and what else do you think needs to change? Because you said it's a good start.
I think it's a good start because we need the information in a timely fashion. And while that emergency legislation is helpful, it also assumes that the sending school system has the information to give. What we know is that law enforcement has the information to provide. And so I think school systems have no problem sharing information with each other, but we need to make sure that someone has the information from law enforcement. So that's why I identify it as a good start. For us with the department, the Division of Juvenile Services, we have a great relationship with our chief of police, with our county executive. We have had meetings to follow up and to talk about, how we want to communicate to make sure that we have information so that we're keeping everyone safe. And so I don't think it's a secret that this is an area that needs improvement, whether a student is coming from another school system within the state or outside of the state. If there is a serious offense, school systems need to have that information rather quickly.
Last follow-up, and then I want to get to.
Have there been instances where DJS has wanted to transfer a student with a criminal history that you've said no? Howard County said last week, they would have never allowed Mr. Parker into the school system. Have there been instances where you've said no, we don't want that student in our school system?
So I can't think of a specific instance where we said no, we don't want that school system in the school system because I have not received that kind of information. But I will share with you that when there is a serious incident, we make decisions about what the proper placement is for students, whether it's going to be going through one of our processes, including, a board suspension and expulsion, or a student has access to other educational services. But what's most important is we have the information to make that decision. And I will share with you that there are some egregious offenses that absolutely, as a school system, we would make a different decision other than the comprehensive school. You're welcome.
Can I just clarify, you said that you haven't started giving out citations yet for the school bus security cameras, and do you know when that is going to start, the citations specifically?
I will never give out citations for the for the school bus. So not me, Bree, but I believe the police and enforcement that they receive 30 days after 80% of the school buses have the new cameras on them. And last I checked, last month, we were getting very close to that. November 4th, I just got a tip in the back. November 4th is the date, $250 per infraction. So very soon.
Hi, I'd like to go back to the question my colleague at WBL Radio asked about students that have been, that are in that in between. They're not being held in a juvenile detention facility or an adult detention facility. They are pending a trial or something like that. Can you give us a brief understanding of what the normal course of procedure is? And for a student like that, what are the options?
Sure. So the normal procedure is number one, the school system has to have the information. Then we have a policy on criminally reported offenses. Typically what happens is a safety meeting. Safety meeting involves someone from the Division of Safety and Climate, the administration at the school, as well as the leadership that supervises the school. And so there is a meeting, the parent, the student, to review the information that we have. And then based on a review of that information, asking some critical questions around safety, a decision will be made, a recommendation will be made. There are different options that we have available in our school system include our alternative schools. We have a robust online learning program system. We have home and hospital that's available to the students. So we 100% believe in educating students and making sure that they have access to a free and appropriate education. But we also know that in these days and times that we have to take every precaution that we can to ensure the safety not only of the students within a school building, but also all of the adults that work within the school building. It is our responsibility that when we have information that we act on it. And so there are options that are available, but all of this is predicated on the fact that we have this information in a timely manner so we can then implement our own processes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rogers.
Thank you, everyone.
This concludes our October press conference. We will see you in November. Have a great day.